Hi everyone, and welcome to Goth Gardening. Hi, and welcome to Weeding with Vice. The way that I've been doing it for spring is I just grab a piece of cardboard, lay it on the floor. So I try to just take all the little ones right now in spring. So this is one way to do it. See, and try to grab like the whole little thing. Right now sometimes I'll lay them out on a piece of stone. The sun will kill them, or I have a bucket near me. I won't have long ass acrylics when I do it, but you know. And I'll just do this early in the morning, or in the crack of noon. When the sun's a little less harsher, the birds are usually chirping. They're really quiet right now. And you could do this, or you could just throw heavy mulch on here. But right now I don't have any mulch, and it's not a good idea to go buy some. An alternative to this would be to use some people use a weed fabric and then lay mulch over it. But I think a way better idea is to use cardboard or newspaper as a weed fabric, because it will decompose into the ground, so it'll be easier maintenance in the long term. If you get more weeds, you just throw more newspaper or more cardboard and then more mulch over it. So it's a more sustainable and a way cheaper option, because you're recycling things that you would otherwise have thrown away. Things you can use as mulch is you can use, if you want to be, they're not the prettiest, but you can use lawn clippings. You can use, they do sell bags of wood chips that are painted, that are colored, that look really pretty, but they're not that great because they've got all that extra paint for no reason. You can use, once the world is back to normal, you can get many tree companies throw out their chipped wood they cut from the branches they cut down. If you want to go with a store-bought mulch, you can use pine. You can use bags of pine, like for pet bedding, which is cheaper than buying the mulch that's meant for gardening. So right now we're dealing with I'm dealing with a couple of types of weed. One of them is, I think it is wild geranium. I don't know what these are, but they showed up looking kind of like a grass. And I have these all over. And dandelions. That's for the most part what I'm dealing with. So my tulips are looking gorgeous. Look, this one's about to open. I can't wait. I'll probably do a little story on my Instagram because I'll be so excited. For the dandelions, if you don't want them growing in your garden, what I usually is I take a trowel or one of those little tiny hand shovels and just dig them out. Just want to make sure you at least take out the crown so that they don't keep reproducing. As you can see, it takes very little effort. Because this dirt is just grass I flipped over, it's not very compacted. And I've added some mulch, some compost too. This is just a fun activity that you can do in the spring. A more long-term solution that I would recommend is just to flip the grass over to kill off from all the weeds, and that should be good enough if it's a brand new area that you're starting, or just to lay down newspaper and mulch and not have to worry about that should suppress the weeds. And there's really not much to weed pulling. Just wanted to bring it up because it can be something that can pass the time right now when there's nothing going on. Now I'm just going to take all these weeds and put it in my compost. That'll be another episode. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Just as an update, I did put some mulch on there for long-term weed suppression to keep it warm in these cool temperatures and cooler in the once we start getting warm temperatures. What I like about this mulch is that there's different materials in it, and that it's whole branches that were chipped down, so it's got a lot of living organisms there that are gonna compost really nicely into the ground and provide a lot of nutrients. So it's not just wood chips. I got it for free off Facebook. I just put a tarp in the back of my car and shoveled it in from somebody's patios, so it was safer than going to a store.